school makes the poor. And PhD stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. The riskiest thing you can do is go to school, learn from a fake teacher, put your money with a financial planner, and work hard for fake money and pay a lot of taxes. What the Federal Reserve Bank, our banks, and our school system's doing is criminal. It's ripping off my generation, ripping off your generation. You know, this is my book, Fake. The reason it's fake money, fake teachers, and fake assets is because it all has to be fake. You have to have fake teachers to understand fake money. Then you have to have fake assets to buy those stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, fake assets. But without fake teachers, fake money, you can't do it. And one of the best things I had is I went to military school, then I went to flight school. I had such great teachers, you know. All of them could fly. You know, so my flight instructor could fly. What a novel idea. You know, a flight instructor can fly. But when I was in high school, most of my teachers were terrified. They're all cowards, you know. Job security, don't make mistakes. Just memorize the right answer and you'll be safe. In school, they compensate for risk by telling you to memorize the right answer. So in other words, these kids leave school thinking, oh, if I know the right answers, then there's no risk. And it drives old guys like me crazy. Because everybody's talking about millennials. What's wrong with them? You know, millennials are the most highly educated generation in history. They know all the answers, but they're afraid of doing anything. And the reason they can't do anything is because you might hurt somebody's feelings, you might make a mistake. You know, and that just keeps you guys just trapped in this little box. Education is more important than before, but you gotta be careful what you're learning. That's why I wrote the book, Fake Money, Fake Teachers, and Fake Assets. Don't listen to fake teachers. Yeah, I have a friend, he teaches entrepreneurship at UC Santa Barbara. And I call him up and I say, how in the world can you teach entrepreneurship? He says, well, I have a master's degree. I said, ask the question again. What gives you the right to teach your entrepreneurship? He says, I have a master's degree in entrepreneurship. And I say, hey, Doug, you and I have been friends for a long time. You've never started a business. You're a fake teacher. He goes, but I have all the answers. I said, yeah, but you don't know how to start a business. Some of the biggest fake teachers are those financial planners. They're telling you, you know, to save money. Why would you save money when the government's printing money? Then they tell you to invest for the long term in the stock market. And you guys know the stock market is ultra short term. There's high frequency trading. Today, long term is a split second. But they're telling you, guys like my generation, to keep your money in the stock market for 40 years and you have nothing left at the end of it. And you look at all the pensions of the school teachers, firefighters, and all the guys with 401ks, they're all bankrupt because Wall Street stole their money from them. You know? And the Federal Reserve Bank, they're run by PhDs, like my poor dad. And PhD stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. The Fed has not been right in years. And everybody worships the Federal Reserve Bank. They're the guys stealing from our pension systems. It's horrible what's going on because we have all these PhDs, poor, helpless, and desperate people who are risk averse. My rich dad always said, never say, I can't afford it. And it was my rich dad and many of my teachers subsequent to that. They said, lazy people always say, I can't afford it. I don't have the money. That's why they're poor. They have a poor mindset. So instead of figuring out how to raise money, it's just really easy to be a loser. And I call them losers. It pisses them off. Because we all have the power, if we wanted to not be poor if we learned how to raise money. My poor dad, my PhD father, he always said to me, he says, you know, I'd be a rich man if I didn't have you kids. And I said, well, you know, Dad, it's not my fault you had kids. You know, I mean, you know, I just can't afford it because I have kids. And the more he said that, the angrier I got. So when I met my rich dad at age 9, you know, he says, well, that's why your old man's poor, because he's lazy. He thinks his PhD is going to carry him. He says, everybody can say, I don't have money, I can't afford it. He says, that's why he's poor. He's lazy. over my lifetime, most of the projects I've started, I've never had any money. I like not having money because it forces me to think. I get creative. I have to educate myself. I have to talk to rich guys. Hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And what has happened to me, I mean, I just turned 72. I've never needed money. Because if I need money, I figure out how to raise it. It's easy to say I can't afford it. All the poor people say I can't afford it. All the poor people say, well, it's taxed the rich. All the poor people are saying, well, give me a free education, free food, free schooling, free manicures, free pedicures. There's laziness, my opinion. Only lazy people use their own money. And that's what really pissed off a lot of people out there. You calling me lazy? I said, yes, I am. Because you're the same type of person who will say, I can't afford it. I can't do that. That's the problem. It's up here. I can't do that. Most of my family say, well, I can't afford it. My father taught me to say that. My mother taught me to say that. My rich dads would never say that. The number one way to raise income is sales. Do they teach you sales? But if you work for a network marketing company, you learn sales. So that's why President Trump, I know people hate Trump, some people hate me too. But President Trump and I are the only people that recommend network marketing. Because in network marketing, you have to go through your fear and you have to learn how to sell. So the reason I'm an entrepreneur is I know how to make money. I know how to acquire assets. I know how to use debt to acquire assets. That's real financial education, not the garbage you're teaching in school. Let me say one more time. If you're going to be an employee or a doctor or a lawyer, then traditional education is really important. But you're going to be an entrepreneur.
There are two different schools of thought when it comes down to opportunities. There's one community, there's a lot of motivational speakers that'll say things like, if you missed out on an opportunity, don't worry about it. Life is abundant with a number of opportunities. Another one's around the corner. It's like missing the bus. If you miss 3:30s around the corner, it's going to be all right. Don't stress out about it. That's one community. Here's the other community. You ready? This other community says, in your lifetime, you're probably going to get a couple big opportunities that are going to present themselves. Could be a meeting. Could be a sit down. Could be a interaction with somebody that you could impress the person where the person goes back and says, I want to do some kind of business with you. That one opportunity could completely change your life. Don't screw it up. Be prepared for it. That's one school of thought. Who is right with the story here? It's 2012-2013 NBA season. The Miami Heat are facing off the Pacers. That year, the Pacers were very strong. They had a strong center, Hibbert, and they're going against each other. Miami has LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and this is a good matchup. They go in the playoffs. Game 1, Miami against the Pacers. There's only 2.2 seconds left on the shot clock. Pacers are ahead, 102-101. The game is in Miami. If Pacers win, this is a big statement to the world. And it hurts Miami because they beat them in their home. What happens with 2.2 seconds left? The coach, I know this because he's a Laker coach, not Vogel, decides to take Hibbert out. He sits him down. I'm like, what are you doing? This guy's playing incredible defense. You got to keep him in. He takes him out. Inbound pass to who? LeBron James. By the free throw line. LeBron turns around, goes in for the left-handed layup with 0 left on the shot clock. They win the game. Everybody's jumping all over the place. Afterwards, commentators are talking, and everybody says, well, you know, that sometimes happens, but they got to come back, and this one you got to be mentally tough, and this one you got to, and I bet the coach in the locker room, he's probably saying this. What do you think the coach is saying in the locker room? We're going to be all right. We can make the recovery. Kenny Smith turns around, who's a 2-time champion with the Houston Rockets, with Akeem Olajuwon. He says the following thing here. He says, I don't know if I agree with you guys. So what do you mean? I just don't agree with you. Why not? Says, look, to assume that you're going to go back to the finals again, it's very naive. He says, I have a lot of friends that I played basketball with for a long time, great basketball players. And they had a chance one time to go to the finals and win, and they didn't. And they thought they were going to go back, and many times they never, ever went to the finals ever again, and they never got a chip. And the name of the game is getting a chip. Never went back again. I sat there and I'm listening to Kenny saying, wow, Pretty powerful statement. A little bit demoralizing. Not the most optimistic statement you want to hear. But guess what happened? They never went to the championship ever again. And they could have that series. They actually could have won to the championship. We could today be saying that the Pacers were a one-time champion during that time, and LeBron would have only had 2 rings instead of his 3. But what happened? They choked. They didn't make the right decision. The opportunity presented itself. They didn't make the right decision. How does this apply to you and I? You know, these weird times that we're living in with the coronavirus and the pandemic, these are very weird times. There's going to be a very small community of people, I guarantee you, that are sitting around saying, I don't know why I'm optimistic about something good happening for me around the corner. Everybody's telling me it's the end of the world, zombies going to be running out here soon, apocalypse, Armageddon, whatever you want to call it, all these videos going viral and posing so much fear. I think everything's going to be all right, okay? That small community, post-pandemic, a crazy opportunity is going to present itself to them, and they're going to capitalize. But it's also going to be majority of people in the world who during these times are going to get softer, they're going to get casual, they're going to pick up bad habits, they're going to watch so much TV, they're probably going to put on 5 to 10% of their body weight, gaining 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds of weight, just get a little bit more, casual with their energy. And that opportunity is also going to present itself to those people, but they're not going to be ready for it. My challenge to you is, don't take these times lightly and get caught and glued to the TV watching every other news as if you have any major influence to be able to slow this thing down. Unless if you're somebody that's directly working with pharma or directly working with scientists or Fauci or the president. Unless if you're somebody involved with helping come up with the cure, keep at it. Study every single thing that's going on. But if you're not, this is a very good time to recreate yourself. So when that great opportunity presents itself, you capitalize. There are 2 different
currencies have been backed by oil, by gold and silver, by land. As soon as you remove something that you can't, something that puts financial constraint on them, where you can't just print as much of it as you want, the currency is pretty much doomed. Basically, we used to use gold and silver, and then they come out with representations for gold and silver. All the currency in the United States and in most countries was redeemable for gold or silver at one time. Our currency used to say there have been deposited with the Treasury of the United States $100 in gold coin payable to the bearer upon demand. You go into any bank, slap down your currency on the counter, and ask for your money, your gold and silver, and they would give it to you.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
Never in the history of the world has this ever happened. In 1971, the U.S. and Nixon convinced the entire world to replace gold and silver with paper money. This stuff. Cash is trash.
They just type them into a computer, the dollars. They don't have to print them anymore. It used to be that you had to mint coinage to expand the currency supply. Then you had to print paper to expand the currency supply. But now all you do is you add zeros to it.
The Federal Reserve has been given the power and the authority to create money out of thin air. But it is actually horrific. When you look back in history the last 3,000 years, every episode of this kind of silly crap ended very, very badly.
When everyone realizes what's happening, it's going to be a gold rush into this thing that will be it'll just blow people away.
It'll be the biggest one in history.
Yeah, it's going to make even in the shares, it's going to make the NASDAQ boom look like nothing.
It really took this economic crisis for people to start waking up. People in the United States are discovering that, it's in our Constitution that only gold and silver can be money in the United States, and that the Federal Reserve notes are illegal, unconstitutional money that we're not supposed to be using.
They don't even have to print this trash anymore.
Right.
It's electronic. That is how fast it's going to hit people.
Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Parker, on your retirement. We'll be happy to cash out your retirement account today. Just a few of the details. Great. Now let me go get your money. There's a little bit more. Okay, we have 5, 10, 15, 20. That's it. Now don't spend it all in one place.
You got to have the courage. Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on the verge and on the edge and in the land of coulda, woulda, and shoulda? Do you have the courage? I'm going to drop something on you. It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. Be normal and fit in. And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything He put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. Dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you've neutralized your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging and the people get to talking and you stand there and say, I've come too far to turn around? Do you have the courage? I'm going to say something to you. It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you do, you don't talk like, oh, you forgot where you came from. Look at you, it takes courage. And I'm just wondering, in this weak, watered down, mediocre society that we live in today, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, and all my ancestors have been through, and all my parents have been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream. Is there a woman left in this entire Coliseum that's got some courage?
Greetings, family. Everyone, welcome to our first full live stream here, YouTube Live, episode number 1 of The Quarantine Life. The Quarantine Life. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Ture Muhammad, and on my Eric Ture Muhammad YouTube channel here, each evening, Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m., we will be offering opportunity for you to delve in further as to how you can make better with your disposition today. The quarantine life is an adjustment. It's a difference. reality that we're facing, because what we've known or what was deemed as normalcy pretty much is no longer. You know, with all the closed door orders, with all the stay home orders, with all the social distancing in place, with all the strains of this pandemic known as coronavirus or COVID-19, it is very difficult to grasp a timeline by which this will end. And so it behooves the world to understand that things will not go back to the way they were. If anything, we're being prepared for something new. We're being prepared for something to take us into the next, I don't know, decade, the next 100 years, a new millennium, but we're being prepared to usher forth another reality. So think about the fact that many of us 7 or so weeks ago did not wake up with the intention of not going to work or not going to school or not continuing along the life that we understood and that we knew. We are now quite vulnerable because all of that has been turned upside down, topsy-turvy, if you will, and we had no say-so in it, none whatsoever. You know, you wake up and the whole world has come to a halt. Every continent is at a grinding halt. And yes, there is some remnant of business being conducted in some states inside the United States and some provinces around the world, but it does not negate the fact that tens of thousands of people have died. Hundreds of thousands more have recovered or on the verge of recovery, but the infection rate continues to increase because the world has yet to come to grasp with how to handle this pandemic, this new reality. And in the midst of them trying to figure it out, in the midst of trying to keep calm, in the midst of trying to create some level of normalcy that won't create additional anxiety or panic, we find ourselves being placed more in jeopardy in the rush to quell discontent. And, you know, it could potentially put more lives at risk, more lives at loss. Mind you, inside this pandemic, there's other things involved. People are transitioning, they're dying, folks, and many of them aren't dying because of this pandemic. The evil accident of time has now taken hold. And people are being called home back to their creator. And it's interwoven in the throes of this pandemic. And we can't give homegoing ceremonies. We can't provide a good send-off like we would want to do with our loved ones, our friends or acquaintances. And it proves to be traumatic. There are different efforts in states, within states of America and throughout the world to help circumvent debt and loss and potential homelessness due to the joblessness. Stimulus checks have been written for many citizens around the world in the varying countries. Others have been forgiven their payments of rent or their payments of car notes or loans, personal, college, or otherwise. You know, there have been special grants developed inside of societies for small businesses who still have to pay a staff who can no longer go to work. This is one of those situations where, you know, insurance companies used to call it an act of God. You don't hear that terminology today, but this is clearly an act of God. And whether there's some aspects of it that was conspiratorial in nature, the fact that God permitted it makes it his. So now that we've been made to sit still and be still, then what? What is it now that we must concern ourselves with? Well, the essentials of life for sure: food, clothing, shelter, and the means by which to attain them, the means by which to preserve them. So in the evening, 6 p.m. Eastern, around the world, you can tune into this YouTube channel and you'll find several types of discussions. Some will be pre-recorded, some will be live. But you'll find some of those discussions where people have found a way to adapt, found a way in their creativity. Now that they're confined to the lab known as home, and now that they're working with able-bodied assistants, it might be family members they haven't seen for so long because they were always working and or in school. Now they're developing things, wholesome eating habits in the house, systems by which you can function together now that many of us are older and had come into our own, but now we're inside the same confine. How about the fact that you still need to keep some measure of financial stability? Well, that's the first opportunity we'll discuss tonight, but you can look forward to those other opportunities from other individuals, people who have mastered the art of existing in confinement. Okay, so I have this YouTube channel, as you know. Please subscribe, like, share. I can also be seen on our Facebook and LinkedIn pages under the name Eric Ture Muhammad, and I look forward to serving you best I can and hearing from you, because I am like a sponge, as many people in this hour. I'm soaking in everything that I can to glean the best for me and mine. And it's only fitting that you do the same in your circles during this time. So a little more about myself. I'm a bronze director in the world of Carabal's International and a Wealth Builder Worldwide student. And what we do, we teach the culture of wealth building, how to ease the financial constraints of not just the pandemic, but how to secure a true future financially through legacies. We're talking about generational wealth. So your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, long after we're gone, there might be a statue or a plaque or a picture or something that will honor you because their world is better in the future because you're here today. I'm a member of the Nation of Islam, a son of freedom fighter Kwame Ture, also known as Stokely Carmichael. And my wife and I, Falami, we're both Carabal's affiliates, and together we have built teams across the world sharing this opportunity, and we're just getting started.
Everything's always about the dream. It's always about the dream. I was 20 years old. I'd already done 6 years in corporate America. And a guy stopped me in the locker room and asked me, do I know anyone who'd like to make an extra $50, $100 a month? He didn't talk about getting rich. He didn't talk about getting wealthy. He didn't talk about freedom. So you don't have to oversell this thing. You know, the average person would love to make an extra $300 to $500 a month. So we talk about putting millions of people in Carabal's. Now we're talking about 20, 30, 40 million people in Carabal's. We're not talking about everybody become a multi-billionaire. You can, if you want to pay that price. I hear people all the time say, I want to be a billionaire. Well, okay, no problem. I want to be a multi-millionaire. Well, you can, okay, but it's going to require you cutting off the television. It's going to require you missing some football games, some basketball games. It's going to require some sacrifice on the part that only you know if you're willing to make. So I like keeping it simple. That guy asked me, do I know anybody like to make an extra $50, $100 a month? I said, yes, me. I didn't know what he was talking about, and I got excited. I got a little bit excited. I got a twinge of hope. There I was 6 years in corporate America. I mean, I'm 20 years old, had my own home, 4 cars in the driveway, pool in the backyard. My wife was a flight attendant, so I could fly anywhere in the world pretty much for free or for peanuts. Okay, I had all the cars I wanted to drive, didn't buy insurance, didn't put gas in them. The company fed me 5, 6 nights a week. I'm living on a company expense report. I mean, I live a lifestyle people dream about, wore my shirt and tie to work, my briefcase. I look good, status good, but as far as I was concerned, I was still broke. Not broke compared to my next door neighbor, not broke compared to the guys in my neighborhood, just broke compared to people who had some real money. That makes sense? Just broke, like one of my nephews one day asked me, Uncle Tyrone, people in the family say you're rich. I said, well, compared to you, I'm rich. You don't have any money. But compared to Oprah, Uncle Tyrone broke. Okay, so it's a relative term. Money is relative. And money is not to do all to say all. Okay, because when you have some serious health issues going on that money can't solve, you realize how important, unimportant money is. But I tell you what, I got started. And I'll never forget that first meeting I was sitting there, Mr. Williams, Miss Abram. I'll never forget it. I'm sitting at first meeting on about 200 people in that room, maybe 180, 200 people. And that guy was talking about homes and cars. He was talking about all these material things you could have. But I'm sitting saying, man, I got 4 cars in the driveway now. I got 2 Lincolns in the driveway, a Ford Mustang and a Grand Marquis, 2 company cars and 2 I own. I was just sitting there, didn't mean anything to me. But all of a sudden he started talking about something that meant something. He said, have you ever thought about being free? Now, as far as I was concerned, I thought I was free. I mean, he talking about the height of ignorance. I thought I was free. He said, ever thought, no, I mean really free. I said, man, I'm free right now. He said, I know that some of you sitting there thinking you're free. He said, if you think you're free, don't show up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and by Thursday, you'll be free. And when he said that, it hit me. I was not free. He said, freedom is when you throw away the alarm clock and you sleep to the crack of noon. Freedom is when you wake up in the morning and do what you want to do with your life. Freedom is when you go to that golf course on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and play golf when everybody else is at the office. Freedom is when you go fishing on Tuesday, Wednesday. Freedom is when you stroll in the movies with your kid on a Wednesday afternoon and there's nobody in the movie theater but you and your child because everybody else is at work. Freedom is when all the fathers at work and you're the only father at the Little League baseball game with your kid or your grandkids. Man, he started painting that picture for freedom, guys. And I never forget, I sit up in my chair. I said, wait a minute, what's this freedom thing he's talking about? Okay. And it blew my mind. He asked a simple question, what's retirement age? Everybody started yelling out numbers, 65, 75. He said, see how we've been conditioned? Retirement doesn't have anything to do with age. Retirement has everything in the world to do with money. This couple speaking from the stage were 32 years old. He and his wife were both retired. 2 brand new Cadillacs in their driveway, owned their brand new home. And they were both retired at 32 years old. I said, oh my God, I got to get this freedom thing. Okay. And I didn't know. I know how long it was going to take me to get free. Some of you right now today, you don't know how long it's going to take you to get free. You want to be free right now, you can taste it. I see Dante Taylor, he can taste it, man. He can taste it. I can hear it in his voice. He can take that people want, he can taste this freedom thing. They want it, but you wouldn't pay the price to get it. When I saw it, I was willing to pay the price. Man, before then, I knew every television program that came out. I was a walking TV guide. You could call me and say, what time this show come on, Tyrone? I didn't have to put out the news back and tell you what time it came out. I was a walking TV guide. Okay? I spent the weekend watching football like everybody else. But when I saw freedom, when I saw that freedom thing, when I was sold that dream of freedom, man, I shut it all down. I said, I'm going after freedom. And at 32 years old, I was able to, my wife and she was able to walk away from a job she'd been on for 8 years as a flight attendant for the U.S. Air. And she walked, yes, we gave up the flying privileges. Yes, we gave the benefits. Yes, we gave up the stock options, gave it all up. Okay, why? So I had a kid and he didn't even know his mama. He'd come home and she'd go to reach for him and he'd run because she's flying and she didn't know him and he didn't know her. Okay, it was breaking her heart. I said, quit. And she walked away at 32 years old. My son don't even remember. He's 32 right now. He don't ever remember his mother having a job. It took me 8 more years. I didn't retire till I was 40 years old. I'm telling you, I'd do it all over again. It took me 20 to walk into a job you've had for 10 years. 18 years in corporate America and say, I'm out and never look back. That was July 14th. July 14th. That's tomorrow. That'll be 22 years. Freedom. What it's all about. Back to you, Mr. Williams.
Family, that's Mr. Tyrone Best, CEO and founder of Wealth Builders Worldwide, which I'm a part and proud member of that group and organization. We're a group of independent affiliates in the world of Carabal's International, and we teach the culture of wealth building. We teach a culture so strong, so vast, so impactful that if you follow the steps and the keys that we have to offer to you today and in the future, it will not matter who your president is, who your governor is, who the heads of state are, who the chairman of any board is, because you're going to find yourself living a life of manifest freedom. Manifest freedom, meaning you don't have to go to work. You won't have to go do those things that were previously a part of your norm because that's all you knew to do. Your finances will not be dependent upon when you punch a clock and when you punch out. You have the power within your ability to communicate globally right from the safety and comfort of your home, and it's a residual opportunity. Here's what we do. We start you with your own gold home-based business. Gold now, because we understand that gold is money. We save gold for ourselves. We encourage you to save gold for yourself. And in turn, you share that opportunity with others to do the same. And what happens when you do that? You earn residual income as your team duplicates exactly what you tell them to do, which we'll share with you today. So in order to even get there, there's a plan that you have to have and an understanding that has to be developed. And now you're in a privileged position where you may not have had the time before, because once upon a time, like I did, I worked 90 hours a week. You might find yourself in a situation where you were working so much regular time, overtime, triple time, ahead of time, out of time. You're doing all of that and couldn't wrap your mind around doing anything else outside of what you knew. Well, that has been eased because we're all home. We're all still. And if we aren't all home and still, and some of us are essential, and we really, truly appreciate your service, you're valuable. At the same time, you're not necessarily required to put in the hours in the way that you used to. So you still have a window. I want you to ask yourself this question. Where are you in life right now? I mean, have you given that any consideration over these last 6 to 7 weeks? Where are you right now? How are you maintaining in this quarantine life? And where would you like to be in the future? You see? Then weigh the distance between those two questions, where you are in life right now, where you like to be in the future, with this one. If you keep doing for the next 10 years what you did the last 10 years, will you reach your goals? I can probably say straight out the gate, no, you can't, because you didn't see this coming 10 years ago. And where we may have been able to predict some things happening in the world, in society, this wasn't in our crystal ball. Did you expect to be sitting on your couch wondering what the next day is going to bring? Sitting on the side of your bed, sitting in a car, watching your telephone, watching this presentation? If you keep doing for the next 10 years what you did the last 10 years, will you reach your goals? What did we do the last 10 years, generally speaking now? Don't take it personal, but please allow the information to be impressed upon you. Just think about it. 21 years of training, we call it education. We got degrees only to find ourselves hustling backwards. We get a degree to get a job. We get a degree that tells us we're only worth X amount of dollars. We get a degree that tells us that we're going to stay here 40 years, 40 hours a week, and retire on 40% less income than we were earning actively. And that wasn't enough then. So you might find yourself retiring at 62 or 65 years of age, but you know you don't have enough to retire on because fixed incomes does not fix the dilemma of outpacing an exponential inflation, right? Meaning the cost of living is so high, and it goes up every day in real time, but your wages do not, your salary does not. It leaves you befuddled. It leaves you confused. And now you find yourself downsizing your dreams. Yours, what did you want for yourself with that fine home, or what you might have wanted for your children who are now having children, and wait, you're still providing a way for your parents or possibly your grandparents. So all the weight is on you. How do you make it happen when you're paying more house for less rent? I mean, more rent rather for less house. You're paying higher utilities. You're paying higher food costs. You're paying higher everything. And the anxiety also increases. Then you find yourself going back to the workforce. So you might become a greeter at 60, 70, 80 years old at Walmart. Do you think that the desire of those who retired were to go back to work to only work until they die? That should not be the reality. So we provide you with the 4 keys to building wealth. We create residual income from the comfort and safety of home. We help you accumulate appreciating assets, meaning you don't spend anything with us. You exchange for yourself those declining paper dollars for its weight in gold. And you're going to find out why that's important in a minute. And you will outrun, outpace, and outdistance inflation, where the cost of living will have no bearing on the value you have now given life and your future. And you'll be able to utilize the advantages of the tax codes that will allow you to even impact that future even greater, because you have learned the secrets of the wealthy, the rich. This is Warren Buffett. Mr. Buffett is telling the world that you should be okay if you work 40 hours a week. He doesn't. He said, you should be able to get ahead. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine. He doesn't. He says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That's the wealthy observation that is keeping him alive and keeping him on all the news channels, news cycles, spouting this thing about, don't worry, one day you'll go back to work. Yeah, one day you'll be free. Our CEO, that's a moniker, stands for Consistently Empowering Others. Mr. Michael L. Dalco, he's senior partner in Wealth Builders Worldwide. He's a top earner in the world of Caraballs International. He brought greater focus in his observation of Mr. Buffett's words. Mr. Dalco says, if you don't find out what real money is, you will work until you die. So whatever we've been striving for, it's been a representation of, but it's not the real thing. It's an illusion. It's one of the world's greatest tricks, because in order to denote or define anything as money, money must be a store of value. It must store your labor. Think about it. It must be worth as much or more in the future as it is today. That's what gives it the awesome power and the value and the leverage to you in your homes. But do you have that? Not with this paper. So I want to give you an exercise. This is an assignment. This is what I would like for you to do, to bust up this idea in our head. We have to go through what's called an intervention. We're performing a seance here. We're doing something to purge this demonly false worship of the dollar bill. You take that piece of fiat, and I want you to write on the back of it, I am a piece of paper and I control your entire life. And then I want you to stand in front of a mirror and hold that same note up in front of you and say it again. And look at what you're saying. I, meaning you, am a piece of paper and I control your entire life. See, this is the recognition of the problem, but this is the root of why it's such a problem. Because this dollar has no value, folks. The US dollar, it has a purchasing power of 3 to 5 cents worldwide. And if it continues to fall, you will continue to fall. Because if you put all your trust in that dollar, whatever happens to that dollar happens to everything you have kept in dollars. So when the dollar does what all paper fiat currencies do, intrinsically fall to zero, so will the value of what you have in your home. So all that you're saving in paper, you put it in cookie jars, you stuff it between mattresses, you stick it in old closets. I was doing some house cleaning. My wife's been asking me to do it for, I don't know how long. I'm so ashamed to even contemplate how long it's been. But here I am, I'm doing some because this kind of freedom allows you some opportunity. And so here I am reaching in the envelopes, pulling out old receipts, and I'm finding $5 bills, $20 bills, $10 bills here and there, because I've broken that cycle. I am a piece of paper and I control your entire life, not mine, not now. And if you listen to what we're sharing with you, not you. The #1 millionaire secret: we exchange declining paper dollars into the world's best tier 1 appreciating asset, which is gold. That's the #1 secret, folks, because gold is an asset. Now, assets are those things that serve as instruments of value, and they appreciate over time. They never fall to zero. They're never at a loss. They've never, ever been in the red, because gold is God's money. Gold is just as indestructible as the God that created it. And in our world of wealth building, which you'll learn in various streams, other trainings that you'll find on this platform, you'll find that We don't think like the haves and the have-nots, or rather the have-nots, not any longer. We don't think like the poor and middle class any longer. We don't get the dollar just to spend it and gone, it's gone, willing it away from us. We don't do that. We learn to do a whole nother level. We create next level opportunity for ourselves by our approach. We pay ourselves first, not last. Because when you spend and will it away from you, wish it away from you, there's nothing to attract, nothing to accumulate. Now you find yourself stuck, and now you want to build around things you like to do. You know, instant gratification. You're looking for memories to be filled. I want to cruise. I want to take a trip. I want to go visit. I want to celebrate. Well, you need monies to do all that. So now you find yourself saving just for that, for instant gratification. But that's not what the rich nor the wealthy do. See, in our world, we save and invest in ourselves, and we allow money to work for us as opposed to us working for the money, so the money stays within our circle, stays within our environment. We circulate the money, we don't spend it. We use it, yes. We spend it, no. And we teach you how to do that in wealth building. This is Carabal's International. This is our headquarters there in Stuttgart, Germany. We're the world's largest providers of gold bullion in small increments, in transaction-friendly weights, okay? This is important to know and understand. And we do it in pure gold. Why gold? Well, gold in and of itself is the greatest appreciator in the marketplace. Do you know that if since 1932, gold has outpaced currencies by more than 6,000%? And you can go through the alphabet and list every currency that's ever been in the world in the last 100 years, and every last one of them has fallen to zero. But gold will never do that. Gold has never done it. $100,000 worth of gold acquired in 1932 is now worth $6 million plus. Wouldn't you like to be in that situation? Wouldn't you like that to be your reality? Carabal's is founded in Stuttgart, Germany in 2011. And we now internationally ship to more than 140 plus countries. In fact, 150 countries worldwide. We have agreements with those governments to transact gold as a currency, as a means of medium of exchange, as a value system. We specialize in the production of and sales of high quality gold products. And again, they come in small transaction-friendly weights. In fact, do you know that the grade of gold that we have is LBMA certified? That means it's the highest grade of gold. This is the gold that nations use to settle debts. Our founder and CEO, the visionary there, is Dr. Harold Constantine Sykes, a two-time author. He authored The Future of Money, and he founded Carabal's International. Now, the future of money. He said some years ago that the future of money was completely digital, how everything was moving that way. Time, efforts, labor, money. And here it is all in one fell swoop. You see it. Everything is digital. Everything is electronic. Everything is a part of a global community. You can touch India from your couch. You can touch China from your couch. From China, they can touch the United States. They can touch anywhere in Africa. They can touch a world. Everybody has this ability, this means through the power of technology and communication. Now you can utilize that very same power through your social media platforms that are costing you nothing. They are free to use. And we offer you a free gold savings account to go right along with it. See, Mr. Sykes understood this. He understood his mission. He understood what he's in the world for. He said, my mission is to produce the highest quality gold available in the market, make it easily accessible to the masses of honest people around the world at a price point everyone can afford. My goal is that Carabal's helps millions find financial freedom from the current system of debt. Let me tell you about this system of debt. This system of debt is what rules society, and the system, truthfully, is called poverty. Poverty is punishment for a crime you did not commit. You're born into it, you work through it, and you assume nothing else because your training, you call it education, I know, but your trainings dictate that you're just to play your role to keep that hamster wheel of debt moving. But if you always do what you've always done, family, you will always get what you've always gotten. Now, if much of today's world, as of today, has deemed or ruled yesterday obsolete, would it make sense to continue to do the same things in a world that no longer appreciates what you've done in the past? There's a better way. Gold is money. J.P. Morgan knew it. Alan Greenspan, former head of the Federal Reserve, printing all that paper, but for 9 years he sat over there knowing that gold was always accepted everywhere. Robert Kiyosaki told you at the beginning, you may hear him just before we close out again, about gold is God's money. Well, let me show you a little bit of God's money here. Here's our gold. This is the form of cash gold. It's secure. Each cash gold card is equipped with a black light authentication feature on the front. But not only is it digital, it's also physical. This is physical gold, not an ETF. It can be stored for free or at a push of a button shipped directly to you. FedEx is our our only exclusive provider of our gold products. Anywhere in the world, FedEx will deliver it to you where it can be physically shipped. Karatbars International is the #1 client of FedEx. It's digital because it can be used like a digital currency to purchase within our ecosystem. This speaks to cryptocurrency. This speaks to online purchasing powers, and it's convertible because of that. Cash gold can be exchanged for cash within the ecosystem without having it shipped home to you. You have options, family. You have choices in this opportunity. Let's hear what some of the leaders of the world know and understand as fact. This is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Business is really warfare, but it's the activity of life itself. You say, well, business means I need to open up a business. Okay, yeah, that's right. But real activity of life has to deal with all the essentials of life that we must provide for ourselves, our families, our future. I have something in my pocket that, gee, where is it? Oh, yeah. I have a gold coin. In 1961, I was sitting with Elijah Muhammad, and he took out of his pocket a gold coin. This is 1 ounce of gold, pure gold, okay? Mr. Muhammad put it on the table. He said, one day soon, this gold coin will be the new medium of exchange. White people are moving into the inner city. Some of them knocking on doors. They come with money and they ask you for your gold. Because what they're giving you, I think I got some of that in my pocket. Yeah, I think I do. Now this is paper. This is not real money. This is real money. Silver as real money. Now you young people, some of the elders in the audience, like myself, this used to be called a silver certificate. How many old people in here know when this was a silver certificate? And you know what it said on the bottom? Pay to the bearer on demand $50 in silver, the real money. This is what you call monopoly money. Oh, you didn't hear me. We're going to do some business tonight. Because business is really warfare. What's about to happen? This week it came out in the news that in 2016, all the major banks are in trouble. It started with J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. What makes a bank in trouble? When the value of the paper that they have begins to lose its value, then the bank is in serious trouble. And so are we who have our money in the bank. Now, white people that are in your neighborhood, they're in the pawn shop now, and they're telling you in the window, bring the gold, we got cash for you. They know you don't know that this is losing its value every day. But gold will increase in value. Now this one here, I bought it today, or sent a brother to get it today, because I wanted to use it to explain something. 1 ounce of gold, this little piece right here, is $1,237 today. It went up to $1,800, but it began to fall. But when Elijah Muhammad put that gold coin on the table, an ounce of gold you could buy for $35 an ounce.
Very significant. It was $35 an ounce in 1961. It remained that since they took it off the standard, and here you are now in a world where gold is almost $1,800 an ounce again, hovering a comfortable $1,720 to $1,750 an ounce. But this is the reason why it hovers there, because these are manipulated prices. This is not the equal yoke price of gold. Nations will not be able to sustain manipulating gold prices any longer, because as their value, their dollar system falls flat, then the only thing they have in support of a true economically leveled playing field is only going to come through gold. So we're going to show you now how you can start a simple and duplicatable business with Caraboss from home, providing your home with the financial security independence. It'll help guard against the crisis involved with the cost of living, and all of it starts for free with your free gold savings account. It's going to start with these multi-gold packages, because these multi-gold packages give you direct commissions. It gives you the benefit of saving freely in gold. It gives you matching bonuses for every aspect of Caraboss that you involve yourself with. It gives you 7+ income opportunities and 5 commissions per month. All your monies are earned in real time, every second of the day, but is doled out to you weekly in a dual system, which you're going to learn about, as well as monthly in the unilevel system. You have tremendous opportunity here that we're going to share, and all of it is issued on our prepaid partnered MasterCard. Now, along with those packages, you heard TD Jakes talk about the courage that is required. You saw the dollar bill I put up there as the intervention, the tool you need to utilize to break the shackle of and the mindset of the false worship of the dollar from your brain. Now, we're going to talk to you about another package from Steve Harvey known as Faith.
Now learn this from Joel Osteen. That's my man. He be texting me. That's my man. God done put some people around me, show me some stuff. He was telling this story. He said, this man that went to heaven, he was walking with Peter down this aisleway, and it was going down this corridor, had a lot of doors on it, and said all these doors had names on it. And he said, Peter, let me ask you something. What's all these doors with these names on? He said, don't worry about it, just go ahead. So he kept walking. And he messed around, he saw one of them doors and had his name on it. He said, whoa. He said, hey, Peter, this here ain't got my name on it. Something I need to know? He said, man, don't worry about that. You here now. Just go on in there and talk to him. See what he said, no, I want to know what's in the door. He said, you sure you won't see what's in the door? He said, yeah. So he opened up the door. It was a warehouse. It had nothing but shelves on it. And then the shelves had nothing but packages. And all the packages had his name on them. And he said, what is all these boxes? He said, that's all of the blessings, all of the things God wanted to ship to you. But number one, you didn't ask him for it. Then number two, you didn't believe you would have it. Then you doubted him. And then you felt like you wasn't worthy. And so now all these boxes is up here. Now the man standing there wishing he had never even been in the room. And I started thinking, I got some dudes that work for me. And I said, I want you to do this graph for me. And that's what I'm finna show you now. See, what happened is, when God sends your package, he only sends it to one street. That's Faith Street. You got to stay in faith. You can't move off of Faith Street. You can't get on Doubted Drive. You can't be over there and start doubting it, because your package gonna go right on by. You can't lose your faith and get on not meant to be way, because your package is going to keep going right on by. Because the package just go to Faith Street. You can get your little feelings hurt, I ain't worthy. Guess what? Your package going to keep going right on by. You have not because you ask not. Then you sit up here and start feeling sorry for yourself. You go over on pity way, your package keep going right on by. If you stay right on Faith Street, don't ever come off, because the blessing is coming. If you wait on it, here it comes. It may not come when you want it, but it's on time. But if you get up and you move off of Faith Street, your box gonna get sent back to sender. And now you're gonna have a warehouse with a bunch of boxes with your name on it that you didn't never get. And I don't know about you, but I want everything he got for me. If he got something for me, I need all of mine. Because I don't know about you, but God lay you out, man. God will give you stuff. Man, he done took me places I ain't never thought I was going to go. I done seen parts of the world I never even thought I could go to. He done gave me stuff. He done put people in my life. God will do it for you, man. But you just got to stay, man. Use these principles of success. Understand, God is just that way. He'll lay you out. Because if he can lay me out, see, if he fix me and change me and get me over here trying to do better, I ain't perfect. I'm just trying to do better. I still say some stuff I ain't supposed to say. You understand? I ain't got it all together yet. I just got in the gate. I'm a new kind of Christian, but ain't no lock on my gate either. So if you see, once you check me, I'm probably gonna check you back. But I'm getting better at that. I don't know how to love my enemies yet. I'm getting better at it though. But it's a process. And the more times we can make people understand that it's a process, the more people can come in. And y'all people that have been good to me, that have been praying for me. I mean, man, my mama, if she could see me now, I just wish my mama could see me. Because she been praying for this here all her life. Watch my son. Well, he done watched me, mama. And I'm cool now. And my philosophy is very simple. I was who I was, but I am who I am. And I'm cool with both them people. Because who I was wasn't that bad a cat. I made some mistakes, but I've been changed a little bit, and it's still a process. And the more people that you invite into the process, the better this is. Because ain't nobody perfect no how. So I really appreciate y'all, man, hearing me and listening to me. I'm going to ask Kirk Franklin if he will come.
That's Faith Street. Stay on it and receive your package. Let's talk to you about this package before we close out. This is the compensation plan found in Carabal's International. And it's very simple. You know, we have 7 options here but associated with this multi-goal package, but I'm only going to discuss 3 of them, and those 3 will take care of the other 4. Let's look at the savings plan. Now, it's a free savings account. And how do you get a free savings account with Karatbars? Well, you can get back to the one who ever introduced the opportunity to you, or you can visit my pages here and check the links below, and you'll find out how you can open your free gold savings account. That requires just your name, your phone number, an address. It requires an email address and your birth date. And if you can choose for yourself a username and a password, you're in a business with 150 countries. So when you look at from the free position, now this is our savings program. You get your new gold savings account and you save gold for yourself and share with others how they can do the same. And then you find yourself maximizing this opportunity by sponsoring at least 5 people. You know what's going to happen? You're going to find yourself with a commission base earning in the upwards of 6% monthly into infinity. I mean, you can earn that kind of residual income forever, because infinity means forever. Save gold for yourself and share with us how they can do the same. And if you max it out by telling at least 5 people about the opportunity, you'll see that monthly commission grow for you, and you'll be compensated monthly through this unilevel bonus compensation plan, and it's forever. Then you have another option. It's known as the dual system. The dual system is when you want to go into business for yourself and treat this with the multi-gold package. Like we said earlier, you can earn with a business package 5 times a month as opposed to once a month. So anybody who's earning more, say more. Let me hear you again. Just a little louder. All right, this is how we do it. We acquire a multi-gold package to start the business. And that package consists of gold. It consists of status that allows you additional payouts in the opportunity. And it allows you discounts to share with others when you offer the opportunity to them. So when you after you acquire that package and get a hold of those products, goods, and services, and you introduce this to people, you can then start sharing the business with them. And when you share the business with them, watch what happens. From your phone, from your laptop, from your desktop computer or iPad or tablet, you could be asleep, or you could be sitting in front of it just watching things, and all of a sudden you start getting paid. Because everyone that you introduce this opportunity to duplicate exactly what you have done, it's going to reward you, and it's going to reward you handsomely. And the more you do it, the better it gets. Because in this world, we have direct commissions associated with those packages. So each multi-gold package that you achieve or you acquire, that multi-gold package allows you to earn what's known as direct commissions. Direct commissions are when you sell a package to the next individual, you get a direct commission paid to you. When that person sells one, you get another generated commission paid direct to you. And if that person sells one to another person, then the same happens. So you sell a package to one person, you get a 10% commission. He sells one to a second person, you get 3% of what that second person's efforts have yielded. And if that second person sells to another person, you get 2% of that. Now, that may not seem like a lot to you, but this is one person. But now we're told you how leverage and exponential growth gives you all the requirements to achieve a 6-figure income from the comfort of your home. Let me show you how it works. Suppose you didn't stop to tell one person. Suppose you told 10, and those 10 people told 10, and those 10 people did exactly what you did. Then that means they're going to see 10% commission from 10 people. You're going to see 10% commission from the ones you told. But now you're going to see 3% from 100 people. But wait, when those 100 people do as you did with your 10, then you're going to see 1,000 people yield you a 2% commission. And I guarantee you, you're not going to even know these people. That's how powerful this opportunity leverages itself with you. But suppose you don't just sponsor 10. Suppose you do like some of our great leaders. Suppose you just do like me, somebody who's striving to get it together. I only have 200 sponsored. And we have a world of 8 billion people. You see how powerful this could be? And then you have the dual team bonus that's associated with operating with the package. The dual team bonus deals in what's known as units. That means that anytime someone within your organization purchases any of the products, goods, and services, it generates units. So you have left teams and right teams. One side gains 25 in units, the other side gets 50 in units. That gives you a you've met the requirement now to receive what's known as a dual team payout, or what we affectionately call a DTP. And that also runs forever, just like your unilevel savings. Everything in Carabar is forever. There are no levels. You can earn as far deep and as far wide. And how do you earn? By acquiring that package. Because that package, depending upon the status you get, determines what size your dual team payout is. So when you do that now, look, some people are into steak, some people are into hamburgers. I get it. But either one in this world can make you wealthy. See, a bronze package guarantees a dual team payout of 40 euros, 50 in silver, 60 in gold. But if you want to get to the top of the compensation plan, you want to start off with one of the VIP packages. VIP is a place to be. That's 80 euro payout. Every time you achieve 25 units on one side, 50 on the other, you're going to get one of those payouts depending upon the status. But here's the other thing. You don't just get paid one time and it's done. Matter of fact, you can get paid multiple times in a week. In fact, you can get paid up to 180,000 dual team payouts per week in this opportunity. You can be a millionaire at bronze. You can be a multimillionaire at silver. You can be a greater millionaire at gold. You might be a billionaire at VIP. But it's all a choice. It's all a decision between where you are and where you want to be in the future. And then the matching bonuses. It gets real sweet. Did you ever think you'd be in a position to get free gold along with your compensation? These are the multi-gold packs. And the multi-gold packages all come with gold inside of it to start you off. And 6 of the 7 packages come with a status. The status is what we showed you earlier, determines the payout. Okay, so under that VIP, that number 7 multi-gold pack, 7 generations of gold are awarded to you. You can get up to almost 1.5 grams of gold from everyone under you, 7 generations deep. That's under one line, or one person, or one team. Because every person you introduce to represents a team. So if you're one who sponsored 10 people, you have 10 teams with 7 generations. If you're a person who sponsored 100 people, you have 100 teams with 7 generations, or the potential of giving you 1.5 grams of gold from each one. But you also get cash matching bonus. So if anyone in your line gets enough enough units accumulated where they all gain a dual team payout, because you have a package, depending on how far down they are from you in the generation, you're going to get paid too. So if you're a VIP and you have 7 generations of earnings here, potential, and someone in that line gets a payout, you get a 5% matching bonus just because they got paid. And it works the same way with all the status packages. You just don't get as many. Again, hamburger, steak. The choice is yours. Then you have our compensation plan. Okay, this rather speaks to our compensation plan. The 2 keys to it, of course, are leverage and exponential growth. J. Paul Getty said, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. That's the corporate America structure, folks. That's why you work a job and the corporation gets rich. Because in that structure, you provide the labor, you gain very little of the wealth, they gain all the wealth and provide very little labor. So now you can be the corporation within your home. You can be Mr. and Mrs. household money earners, and in your home, you can be the chairman of the board, the CEO, the head of state, because you now have positioned yourself to gain the 1% efforts of hundreds of people as opposed to 100% of your own. Because you have a tool by which you can communicate with people all over the world, this marvelous opportunity that's free to start. Now, we're not financial advisors. I don't profess to be one ever. This presentation is not designed to give financial advice. The following examples show calculations for illustration purposes only and is not a guarantee of income. So I wanted to tell you about our fast track promotion. You know that the top of the food chain is the place to be, but let's say you come in as a silver because you got in where you fit in. That's all right. You can still be wealthy. You'll still be rich. But if you want to be at the top of the plan, we have a promotion. Anytime you acquire a package, you have 5 weeks from that point. And when you sponsor 5 new affiliates within the first 5 weeks from acquiring the package at your package level or higher, the company will upgrade you to the next highest package status at no cost to you. So let's say you're a silver. You'll be upgraded twice if within the same 5 weeks from when you got your original package, You get 5 people to go your package or higher. That means you'll be upgraded to gold. And then you get the next set of people to do the same thing with the remainder of the weeks inside that 5 weeks. You can be a VIP before that 5 weeks is over. And you get all the perks, the bells and whistles that come right along with it. You get more gold, you get the status, you get units, you get all kind of things that come with other people doing with you what they learn through you to do for themselves. And then you're automatically entered into our Carabal's long-term incentive program. Now this is powerful now, because from the moment you signed your up for your free gold savings account, you qualified to be a part of this. And the more you save, you're adding what's known as euro dollars. You're adding volume to the world of Carabal's. And the more you do, whether it's your saving or the combined savings of your teams, or you acquiring a package, or other people acquiring packages out of this unique business referral service that you're now a part of, what happens is you get credit for all of that. And you can do everything from earning that fine Carabal's leather bag all the way up to $1 million home or €750 home, which is $1 million in US, built for you from the ground up anywhere in the world, free and clear, keys in your hand, deed in your name. Or you can gain or acquire its value in gold. Mr. Michael L. Dalco, who I cited in the presentation just earlier, he and his wife had just secured and earned the Mercedes-Benz C-Class vehicle, 40,000 euros. They decided to get its value in gold, because you can't quantify the power of gold. You know, you don't have maintenance on gold, you have maintenance on vehicles. If they need a vehicle bad enough, they can get one just off of the commission earned off of saving all of that gold, free gold. And of course, this is our payment system. We're privately partnered with MasterCard, and our cash flow needs are handled there, money in, money out, right from your card. And the grams of gold, there's another loyalty program. There's a loyalty bonus in Carabal's. The more you save and encourage other people to save, if you save at least a gram of gold monthly on account, do you know that after 12 months, you will have qualified to earn free gold from Carabal's? In fact, FedEx will drop it off to you if you can physically receive gold in your country. Do you know that you can earn up to 25 grams of gold per month after a year of consistent savings and building your teams? You'll never have to work for anyone else anywhere in the world in life. And the world will be better generations to come because you came, that you saw this opportunity. So the Carabal's advantages, as I said, we're a 9-year-old company. We're now operating in 150 countries. Our product is delivered directly to your door via FedEx, and we're partnered with MasterCard. We have more than 1 million affiliates worldwide, but there's 8 billion people in the world, so we're nowhere near even getting started yet. And you have a complete support system. You're in business for yourself, but never, ever, ever, ever by yourself. And it's no cost to register. It's free to join. It's free to join, folks. And there's never any reoccurring fees, no mandatory monthly fees or expenses. And you receive from us free of no cost to you, the state-of-the-art 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operational multi-million-dollar software operating on your behalf at no cost to you ever. And of course, our product. We have what the world is looking for. Not love, sweet love, but gold, sweet gold. Our product is money. Our product is 24 karat, 999.9 pure gold bullion. You have all the tools. So not only are you in the right place ahead of time, you're watching this presentation, you're watching this stream, you may be watching it later, you are in the right place ahead of time, because we give you all the tools, all the trappings to earn a 6-figure income from the comforts of your home. So if you're ready to do this, you know there's 3 types of people that generate after a presentation like this. We might have had you at gold. You're ready to get started. Get back to the one who introduced it to you, or you can go to www.goldnow.info. It's in the comments and descriptions. You can go right there and go ahead and sign up for more information, and I'll be happy to assist you. I'll contact you directly. I'm excited, but I have some questions. Well, we're here for you. We have trainings that we do 24 hours, 7 days a week, all over the world of internet, on our training platform, www.goldrocks.info. Plus, you have myself and other upline sponsors. We'd be more than happy to articulate and address any questions that you have And for those who say that it's not really not for you, well, we don't know what's not for you in it or not. We don't know if you have a problem with saving money or making money. I don't know which one it is. However, I would recommend that you get the free account anyway, because it will become for you, because the world that you knew is not coming back. And when the world reaches out for Caraballs, you want to be positioned so you can be there to receive their hands and enjoy their efforts. Now, next week, Saturday, we're talking about the 16th of May from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're sponsoring what's known as the Next Level Networker Boot Camp. You can get more information at www.wbwevents.com, www.wbwevents.com. We have some of the world's greatest trainers in wealth building, and we have the CEO and founder of Wealth Builders Worldwide, Mr. Tyrone Best, and his wife, Mrs. Valerie Best. And we have a special guest coming in all the way from Stuttgart, Germany, Brother Jürgen Pulvermuller of Caraballs International. He's head of global sales. Family, this is the place you want to be. Go ahead and sign up. It's a $30 event. That also qualifies you to get one of our free unhackable, completely unhackable K1 Impulse phones. It also qualifies you to earn cash gold. That's right, gold delivered to you anywhere in the world and in our ecosystem. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share with you. Again, I'm Brother Eric Ture Muhammad. You can find me here on the YouTube channel for all additional trainings and availabilities. And you can find me on the LinkedIn and Facebook pages, both under Eric Ture Muhammad. And again, this opportunity is shared with you because we're recognizing the time that we're in. We're cognizant of where we are. We do understand that in this hour, family, in this hour, we have a situation where we are under what's known as complete quarantine. And under quarantine, you must know and understand how to maneuver, how to protect yourself, how to survive in this hour. You have children coming in the world that need to know what to do. You have families now who are now with each other, but you should not feel trapped. You should enjoy the opportunity that is providing you. You ever heard the saying, when a door closes, a window opens? Well, I guarantee you that this is the kind of opportunity you have in front of you. And we opened up the quarantine life with showing you how to secure your finances, how to grow your wealth, because that's going to be essential no matter when this is over and how life is maintained afterwards. But there is life afterwards. And you don't need just short-term goals. You don't need just short-term or immediate gratification. You need things that are going to sustain you through this. You need to know what your end game is. You need to know what your objectives are. You need to know how you're going to make a way when it appears no way to many. So we opened up Quarantine Life here on this platform to share just that. And then the next ones that are to come, you're going to find other avenues that are introduced that deal with everything from farming to sanitizing to, I mean, there's a whole plethora of things that will happen. And there's more programming on this channel that you'll find that will reward and enrich your households. Just stick with us and you have nothing to lose but the chains. And the shackle is only in the mind, but the freedom is the expanse. It's in the universe. Okay, so I appreciate you. I appreciate you for the time that you afforded me, the understanding that you afforded me. And I would like to give you, in closing, and we'll close out with it, I want to give you back Mr. Robert Kiyosaki so he can share with you what he shared with so many of us at the beginning of this program, and it'll close right out after that. So I want to thank you again for the opportunity you afforded me. I want you to come back 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Saturday. You'll find programming right here dealing with the quarantine life, okay? And if it's not live, it will be at least pre-recorded, but it is here available for you. And we're just absolutely grateful for the opportunity that time has afforded us. So I want to thank you. I'm going to share this opportunity with you once again, and I hope you found value in what we had to say. It's coming up now, and family, again, we thank you. We're going through buffering and delays, but we're here. Thank you once again for your patience. See you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, here on the Eric Ture Muhammad YouTube channel.
School makes students poor. And PhD stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. The riskiest thing you can do is go to school, learn from a fake teacher, put your money with a financial planner, and work hard for fake money and pay a lot of taxes. What the Federal Reserve Bank are banks and our school systems doing, it's criminal. It's ripping off my generation, ripping off your generation. You know, this is my book, Fake. The reason it's fake money, fake teachers, and fake assets is because it all has to be fake. You have to have fake teachers to understand fake money. Then you have to have fake assets to buy those stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, fake assets. But without fake teachers, fake money, you can't do it. And one of the best things I had is I went to military school, then I went to flight school. I had such great teachers, you know. All of them could fly, you know, so my flight instructor could fly. What a novel idea. You know, a flight instructor can fly. But when I was in high school, most of my teachers were terrified. They're all cowards, you know, job security, don't make mistakes. Just memorize the right answer and you'll be safe. In school, they compensate for risk by telling you to memorize the right answer. So in other words, these kids leave school thinking, oh, if I know the right answers, then there's no risk. And it drives old guys like me crazy. Because everybody's talking about millennials. What's wrong with them? You know, millennials are the most highly educated generation in history. They know all the answers, but they're afraid of doing anything. And the reason they can't do anything is because you might hurt somebody's feelings, you might make a mistake. You know, and this just keeps you guys just trapped in this little box. Education is more important than before, but you gotta be careful what you're learning. That's why I wrote the book, Fake Money, Fake Teachers, and Fake Assets. Don't listen to fake teachers. Yeah, I have a friend, He teaches entrepreneurship at UC Santa Barbara. And I call him up and I say, how in the world can you teach entrepreneurship? He says, well, I have a master's degree. I said, ask the question again. What gives you the right to teach your entrepreneurship? He says, I have a master's degree in entrepreneurship. And I say, hey, Doug, you and I have been friends for a long time. You've never started a business. You're a fake teacher. He goes, but I have all the answers. I said, yeah, but you don't know how to start a business. Some of the biggest fake teachers are those financial planners. They're telling you to save money. Why would you save money when the government's printing money? Then they tell you to invest for the long term in the stock market. And you guys know the stock market is ultra short term. There's high frequency trading. Today, long term is a split second. But they're telling you, guys like my generation, to keep your money in the stock market for 40 years and you have nothing left at the end of it. And you look at all the pensions of the school teachers, firefighters, and all the guys with 401ks, they're all bankrupt because Wall Street stole their money from them. You know? And the Federal Reserve Bank, they're run by PhDs, like my poor dad. And PhD stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. The Fed has not been right in years. And everybody worships the Federal Reserve Bank. They're the guys stealing from our pension systems. It's horrible what's going on because we have all these PhDs, poor, helpless, and desperate people who are risk averse. My rich dad always said, never say, I can't afford it. And it was my rich dad and many of my teachers subsequent to that. They said, lazy people always say, I can't afford it. I don't have the money. That's why they're poor. They have a poor mindset. So instead of figuring out how to raise money, it's just really easy to be a loser. And I call them losers. It pisses them off. Because we all have the power, if we wanted to not be poor if we learned how to raise money. My poor dad, my PhD father, he always said to me, he says, I'd be a rich man if I didn't have you kids. And I said, well, Dad, it's not my fault you had kids. I just can't afford it because I have kids. And the more he said that, the angrier I got. So when I met my rich dad at age 9, he says, well, that's why your old man's poor, because he's lazy. He thinks his PhD is going to carry him. He says, everybody can say, I don't have money, I can't afford it. He says, that's why he's poor. He's lazy. Over my lifetime, most of the projects I've started, I've never had any money. I like not having money because it forces me to think. I get creative. I have to educate myself. I have to talk to rich guys. Hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And what has happened to me, I just turned 72, I've never needed money. Because if I need money, I figure out how to raise it. It's easy to say I can't afford it. All the poor people say I can't afford it. All the poor people say, well, it's taxed the rich. All the poor people are saying, well, give me a free education, free food, free schooling, free manicures, free pedicures. There's laziness, my opinion. Only lazy people use their own money. And that's what really pissed off a lot of people out there. You calling me lazy? I said, yes, I am. Because you're the same type of person who will say, I can't afford it. I can't do that. That's the problem. It's up here. I can't do that. Most of my family say, well, I can't afford it. My father taught him to say that. My mother taught him to say that. My rich dad should never say that. The number one way to raise income is sales. Do they teach you sales in school? But if you work for a network marketing company, you learn sales. So that's why President Trump, I know people hate Trump, some people hate me too. But President Trump and I are the only people that recommend network marketing. Because in network marketing, you have to go through your fear and you have to learn how to sell. So the reason I'm an entrepreneur is I know how to make money. I know how to acquire assets. I know how to use debt to acquire assets. That's real financial education, not the garbage you're teaching in school. Let me say it one more time. If you're going to be an employee or a doctor or a lawyer, then traditional education is really important. But you're going to be an entrepreneur, you don't need to.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Peace and power.